about it, we're talking about Gnomes, we're talking about Thanksgiving, we're talking about Chucky, we're talking Thunderbolts, and we're talking Halsey and Sydney Sweeney in a new show. So let's get right into it with the HBO Max announcement that Stephen King's It will officially get the prequel that it has been longing for some time now. Now, it's not going to come in the form of a movie like we initially thought or is rumored to be, which I am very disappointed by because I think a movie would be good, but I also think that a direct TV series that is sort of like a limited show of sorts would work a lot better to expand this world, actually. So HBO Max is going to bring this series, Welcome to Derry, with Andy Muschietti as well as Barbara Muschietti, who worked on It and It Chapter 2, and also Jason Fuchs, who worked on It Chapter 2. So in the world of Stephen King's universe, Welcome to Derry is going to expand the story of Pennywise and the town of Derry. And so this is very exciting news because this means that we're actually going to probably see a lot more of Pennywise back in the old days. So there was a deleted scene apparently from the first It movie that was going to show Pennywise in like the 1800s of sorts, and it was very dark apparently. Apparently in this scene, Pennywise goes on to even consume a baby that is offered to Pennywise as a sort of like sacrifice in order for the townspeople to sort of quench the hunger of this evil entity. They were sacrificing babies. So it got pretty dark. They didn't include this in the final cut, and for a lot of time they were saying it was going to come out and they were going to include it, and then they were saying, okay, it's going to be in a prequel movie we're going to make for It Chapter 3. Apparently that was something that was going to come out after It Chapter 2. Then things went cold. Then we heard about Welcome to Derry was in production or like in the early stages talking, and now we know it is coming. So we're excited to see how this series is going to be, and HBO, I trust them a lot. So very excited for that. But let's move on to some comic book news for a bit, and that is Stephen Yeun will actually be in the Thunderbolts movie. So this came out a day prior, and we heard that he was going to be in the Thunderbolts movie. He was going to join the MCU, and for a long time, which was just 24 hours, they said, we don't want to say what it is yet, but it is going to be a very important character going forward. And so we were all wondering, we were speculating and trying to figure out what exactly this means, what was going to happen. And now we know that he will actually be playing Sentry. Sentry is a super, hero of sorts. So Sentry is going to be an interesting character for Stephen Yeun to play because just as much as of a hero he can also be a villain. And I will talk more about that in a video coming this week about what I think Thunderbolts could officially be about. So very excited to talk about that. But yeah, Thunderbolts looks like a very huge ensemble cast with Florence Pugh, Sebastian Stan, David Harbour, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, as well as Wyatt Russell and also Ayo Edebiri. So very excited to see what comes from this, but we'll talk more about this movie this week in a video solely dedicated to that. So let's go back to the horror news because I know a lot of y'all love the horror stuff. So Eli Roth's Thanksgiving, we've talked about it already. It is officially a go and coming, and we are excited to see this full vision be brought. It's been a while since we got an Eli Roth movie. Green Inferno was alright, I think. But now we have Thanksgiving, which is based on his fake trailer he made for the Grindhouse Devil feature, which came out back in 2007. So this is 16 years in the making, y'all. So we do know now that there is going to be Patrick Dempsey attached to this, and also Addison Rae, which was a big, huge news when that came out, that she will be actually the lead role in the movie, and Addison Rae has officially become a final girl. So there is all that. Now we know that Jalen Thomas Brooks and Nell Burlack will actually be joining the cast as well. Spyglass will be behind the film, and we also have the script by Jeff Rendell, and of course Eli Roth will be producing as well as directing. So very excited to see what this movie is going to look like. And so this is very much so a movie that is going to focus on Thanksgiving being more than just a time to get together and share a meal and give thanks and argue about politics at the table. It is a time now when we are going to have a slasher on the loose going crazy on this small town and just figuring out what is going to happen. So we do know that Patrick Dempsey apparently is playing the sheriff. We do know that Addison Rae will probably be the final girl. and nowhere yet on any other details or what exactly is to follow in this movie. But we will be here. We will be waiting, and we will be excited. But if you're wanting to catch a horror movie this weekend without waiting for Thanksgiving to come out, we do have the M3GAN Unrated cut out now on Peacock, which I got a chance to see yesterday. Came out yesterday. And I will say that this made me wonder why these scenes were cut in the first place. I thought it was a little bit gory, a little bit bloody, but it kind of was a little faster than I thought it was going to be. So I'm not saying like I want to see all these bloods and gore and all going on, but I will say that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But I think it does enhance the thing a little bit more, the film itself. So I don't know. You can watch the unrated cut. Let me know what you think about that. Some more horror news for y'all, and anybody who's watched Goosebumps probably knows what I'm talking about here, is that gnomes can be scary. And now we actually have a Sony horror movie that will unleash a killer gnome tribe. So from Dutch filmmakers Richard Raphorst and also Ruben Hegelman, Sony Pictures will be turning their short film Gnomes into a feature. So we have Andrew Bauer and Gabriel Ferrari who will be writing the script for the film that will come from Sony Pictures, and it will actually be produced by 21 Laps. So there is not much known yet, but it says that the original film watches as a girl stumbled into the territory of a killer gnome tribe while out on her daily run, finding herself in grave danger after being lured in by its mysterious glowing mushrooms. So if we can find this short film, we'll probably react to it on our YouTube channel, and we'll probably talk a little bit about it. But gnomes are back in, y'all. Gnomes. So speaking of gnomes, let's talk about Chucky. Not necessarily a gnome, but still an inanimate object that comes to life and kills. There is a new trailer for The Living with Chucky, which is a Chucky Child's Play documentary, which celebrates the entire franchise. So it is directed by Kyra Elise Gardner, and she is actually the daughter of special effects artist Tony Gardner, who has worked on the Child's Play series. And this is one we actually got the chance to see at Fantastic Fest last year. We enjoyed it. We're excited to check this out again, and we hope that we can be able to bring some coverage for it, maybe get an interview with Kyra on the channel, on our YouTube channel, and on the podcast as well. So this one's definitely one I think that if you're a Child's Play fan, you should definitely check out. I enjoyed it so much, and we are definitely going to be looking out for this one. So it'll be streaming on Screenbox on April 4th, 2023. And our last piece of news, which is leading into our announcement that we will actually be at South by Southwest this year in a couple of weeks. And we have Americana that will actually be at South by Southwest, which is going to star Sydney Sweeney, Paul Walter Hauser, as well as Halsey. And we had the first pictures here released, and we're excited for South by Southwest. There's a ton of stuff we want to check out. Evil Dead, Furies, Talk to Me. A lot of these things are going to be broadcast on this channel as well as on the Anchor podcast. We might just go every day live on YouTube and record this as a podcast about everything we're out to experience and see. And we're out there trying to make some connections and stuff because we are trying to take this channel to the next level as well as get our movie made still. So we are very, very excited about all of that. So anyways, that's all the stuff we want to talk about for you today. Let us know what you think about the Thunderbolts with Stephen Ewan, the It prequel series, Welcome to Derry, Eli Roth's Thanksgiving, the Gnomes horror movie, the Living with Chucky movie, and as well as South by Southwest. What should we cover? What should we see? Let us know. But anyways, we will be making videos on Thunderbolts. We will be making videos on Welcome to Derry next week, so stay tuned for that, and we're very excited. So as always, wherever you're listening to us, make sure you check us out on our